Good morning and happy Halloween. It is Halloween, and we've decided that if Greg wants to buy candy and hand candy out, he can do it. We are not going to do it ourselves. We're just not feeling very Halloween right now, and we never get any kids anyway, and then we end up eating the candy, which is not good for us. So, there's us being Halloween Scrooges, and we love Halloween. So there you go. That's us. So I said yesterday, I was going to do a mask today. I'm a little groggy. I was having trouble sleeping. I went to sleep, and then I woke up about 11:30 with racing thoughts, worrying about the outdoor cats, and I just could not calm down. So I took a melatonin tablet, and holy macaroni, I was out. I am so susceptible to that kind of stuff that I don't like to use it. It gives me weird dreams. I was dreaming this morning when the alarms went off. I was dreaming that it was raining tea, like iced tea, and it was creating tea drops on everything. And anybody wearing white clothes was getting tea dyed. It was the strangest dream. It just was weird. So anyway, enough of my weird dreams. I said I was going to do a mask to fill up our last little tiny square down here. So I'm just going to do one of those old-timey masks. I ought to pull up the picture of me and my cousin. I don't know if I can do that. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone, where we were wearing those plastic masks, and the only mask that was left to choose from that my uncle had picked up was a devil mask. And I was wearing like this blue and white dress. Let me see if I can find it. And the devil mask. I wish there was a way to search your own photos. Is there a way to search your own photos? It's tagged photos. Lots of our wedding pictures are on here. I bet I'm not going to be able to find it. I'm on Facebook. I'm looking for the Halloween photo that I know I posted years ago. Well, I'm going to look just a little bit more, and if I can't find it, I will move on. This is me with my very first kitty. His name was Catty Cat. And wasn't I cute? This is me with two of my sisters. I think we were celebrating my birthday there, and we went to a Greek restaurant. So that's my Potter sister, and that's my USC teacher sister. And I have another sister, but we've lost contact over the years. And that was me and Scott on our wedding day with my family. So that's all my siblings and my mom and my stepfather there. So I'll just share a few pictures as I go along. There's the same three sisters together on my wedding day. And yes, Rhonda's a lot older than the rest of us because I was 16 when she was born. I was still living with Grandma, so I didn't get to spend a lot of time with her when she was real little. Of course, I moved down here when she was 2 or 3. So I got to spend some time. I lived with them for only about a year and a half. I am not seeing. Do y'all remember glamour shots? Ooh la la. Yes, I used to wear makeup. Now I just don't see the purpose of it. I don't go anywhere, and it messes my skin up so badly. I am not finding the Halloween. I'm seeing big family birthdays of when I was real little, and my cousin Heather and I. She was born about 2 weeks after me, and we always had this big family birthday party, and all the cousins would come for her and I's birthday. Let's see. There I am by the creek in my short dress. I'm not finding the mask. So we're just going to make up a mask. One year, Scott and I, we did glamour rock makeup. If I could find that picture, y'all would get a hoot out of that. Let's see. Yes, Callie, you can go out. But anyway, I'm running late because that melatonin is just, I can't believe how bad it knocks me out. All right, so let's do a mask real quick, and I'll quit blathering. But those old plastic masks, they were like this, or they'd be shaped like something. A lot of times it was just like this. And it had that evil piece of elastic that had like those little staples on either end, and then the elastic would come around, and your cousins or brothers or whatever would come behind you and snap that elastic on the back of your head. Yeah, my family was brutal. So anyway. I know some people hate clowns, but hey, it's easy to do. And there was always a tiny little holes for you to look out of. So this is where the eyes would be. So now I'll color it in. And we got to do the red nose. Hi, Heather. Scott says he's run out of work at work. He says when he left, he said he had about an hour's worth of work to do for today. And this happens every year. They'll start getting in the parts to fix for the trains back again during the really cold months. They'll get inundated with a bunch of work, but that won't be until about January, February, November, and December. You've worn this mask. Oh, let's see. The mouth was red too, wasn't it? Or orange or something. I know you leave the part around the eyes white, don't you? Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I looked at a clown. Let me look up a clown on here. Clown mask. Oh, that's creepy. So yes, red lips, and then put the rest, the face is white, and around the eyes, they've done blue. All right. And if I remember right, there was like a small opening where you could like make some kind of sound out right there. There we go. Good morning, Kathleen. I got your message about the adding a button band. I'm just worried that it'll overlap too much. I mean, it'll be too wide across the front. So on the sweater I'm working on, I have done a buttonhole, which was knit two and then knit two together with the yarn forward. I did that. So I have this tiny little buttonhole, probably misplaced, but I did that. And I'm just going to go with it. And I don't know if I'm going to work on any of that today because this headache is getting worse by the minute. Scott was coughing in his sleep last night, so it's crud season. All the kids are back in the petri dish, so anytime you go out in public, you stand a chance of catching some bug or virus that the kids have gotten together and shared their germs at school, and then the virus morphs into something else because they've been around somebody that's been with a different virus. Yeah, it's that great time of year, isn't it? All right, so I'm going to do a little purple background on here with just some lines, I guess, or something, or maybe just do some little star-like things to let us know it's Halloween. So is anybody else going to hand out candy, or are you skipping it this year, or are you dressing up? Or not dressing up? I got rid of our Fred and Wilma costumes that we used to put on that I made for us back when Scott had hair. And Katinka has put up a video on the seamstress at the cottage. If you've not watched Katinka, she is so sweet and so knowledgeable about sewing, and she lives in South Africa, and she's just a delightful person. And I was just so happy to hear from Anne Marie, my sewing lady in Jamaica that I used to watch every morning while I was cooking breakfast. And I'm so glad she's okay and that her house did not lose its roof. She did have some flooding, but I just was so thankful to get a message. She put one up on Instagram. That's where she does her little lives. Yeah, Linda, we don't get any kids either. We might fix a little bag up for the little boy that lives right next door and just hand it to his mama or daddy tonight. So there we go. I did all 31 days of Inktober with y'all. And it's been a lot of fun. We're ready for 120 to 130. You know what I think is interesting is I don't know if it's like this anywhere else in the States, but here in South Carolina, the trick-or-treaters don't come around to houses anymore. They go to trunk or treats at the churches. So there's really no trick-or-treating happening here anymore. When I was up in New York, even in that small town, we had a bunch of kids. The town kids would trick-or-treat, and then my cousin Jim, back in the day, he'd load up a hay wagon and drive the tractor, and periodically he'd turn the tractor headlights off when we were on like a back road, and it would just be totally black just to make us all scream. But we would just go around to the little farms and stuff, and even the farms got in on it, and they would hand out stuff, candy, and we'd just go around a couple of the blocks with, we probably only went to maybe 10 to 20 houses, if that, probably less, because it was more about the hayride than it was the trick-or-treating. And I only went into town once that I can remember when I was older. When I was little, if my uncle felt like he had the time, like the time I had to wear the devil mask, he would come and get me and take me and Peggy, Heather, and John Paul around. And yeah, I think we're just going to leave our light off unless our son decides he wants to hand out candy. He still gets a kick out of handing out candy, but then he's 39, and so he's still young. I'm trying not to get on my soapbox today. Yeah. But anyway, he's got a friend that's on her way here from Tennessee, moving back to Florida because her marriage is falling apart. And I just feel so bad for her. But she's supposed to show up at some point, and I just don't have anywhere for her to stay this time. Come on, Callie. My front rooms are still all tore up, and Greg's bedroom is a mess because we moved living room furniture in there. So I don't know. I know she can't afford to stay somewhere. Yeah. Times are just so hard for so many people we know, between Greg's very first serious girlfriend being murdered at the beginning of the month. And it's just been a crazy month. I've been fighting depression really bad. And I'm just going to say it so people know, when I go quiet, it's usually because I'm doing an internal reset, because the world is just so freaking heavy right now. And I just can't. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would have freaked me out. But that is cool. That is cool. Uh, but anyway, everything will get better. I just need to find something positive to do. You do the same, Heather. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to, like yesterday afternoon, I turned this computer off and I just sat here and listened to the clocks tick for about 20 minutes. And sometimes you just need to walk away from the screens. I need to get out in the yard and work in the dirt. That always makes me feel better. I've got to catch a young mother cat and 3 kittens that have showed up in my yard. I don't know I don't know what to do with them. I am so overwhelmed with stray cats right now. I've got to find some way for somebody to help me deal with them. I can't afford, because the new vet is so expensive. I'm glad my vet was able to retire, but man, I miss him. He ran his practice was very much a clinic. So he had clinic prices that people could afford. And the new vets, they're paying off their school loans, and the prices of medications and all of that has gone up. And so just a physical with some tests and the shots was over $200. And I have 5 cats inside. I have 2 more that need to go. And I'm not saying this to, like ask for any money or any of that. I just want everybody to know you're not alone in these struggles. I just want everybody to know we're all going through it. And I just want to share what we're dealing with, so you're not alone. I don't want anybody to ever feel like they need to help me in any way. Okay. So, but when Anne took Lily to the vet, it was a lot for her too. Oh, and I do too. And I try, but another cat, this cat is one of Juanita's last litter that's just had kittens. And I need to get her somewhere where she can not get bred again, for one thing, and get spayed, and then get the kittens homes, because brings the total up to, I can't even tell you. It's about 15 stray cats outside right now. Maybe more, because there's some that hang out in the neighbor's yard that they've just thrown out after when they like their cats to have kittens so they can play with the kittens. And then when the kittens get big enough, they just push them all outside and they come up in our yard. And then Becky feels guilty and it's cold, so I start feeding them, and then they become my problem. And so I need I need to get with somebody to give me some help to find some homes for these cats. Yeah. I got the main mother fixed, and now the kitten I could never get my hands on has had kittens. It's just like a nightmare cycle when you're dealing with stray cats that people won't. I just don't get it. And now I'm a problem. And that's why I've been really upset with myself the last day or so. No, and I keep telling my neighbor up the street that we can't save them all, but she's even got a mother cat dropping kittens at her house up the street. So she has another little, I don't know, what do you call a clouder of cats building up at her house, and she also has 5 indoor cats that she's rescued already. Yeah. And there is I know in the neighboring county they have a program where they give out certificates for a reduced cost spay neuter, but it's in the other county, and I don't have an address in the other county to be a county resident to take advantage of those, and our county, I don't believe, does that. So the struggle is real. It's my understanding the animal control officer here won't help you in any way. They'll just bring you traps so you can relocate the cats somewhere else, which to me just sounds like you're sending your problem to your neighbor, and I don't want to do that. So, yeah, and this is what my mind was looping on. It was looping and looping and looping. And finally, I was like, I am taking a melatonin and going to sleep. I got to get some sleep. But now I've got like this headache from that. I get a headache from taking Benadryl. So that tells you how susceptible I am. Yeah. Yeah. For a spay, it's just getting crazy. So yeah, the problem's going to get worse because nobody can afford that. I mean, just getting the cats their shots, and I did go ahead and get some flea medicine and wormer type stuff for Howard and Callie. I need to get some for Tippy. I didn't buy that when I took him in when he was not feeling well, but I need to see if I can get that. And then I still need to get Greg's 2 cats over, but he's going to have to help. He's going to have to pay for those because I just can't do that again. I'm going to let him know how much it is, but he's struggling right now because of the injury he had. So I don't know if he got paid his full amount with being out for a week. I don't know what workers' comp covered. I've never had to use workman's comp, so I don't know anything about how that works. I know they pay the medical bills. I don't know if they cover any lost pay or not. Yeah, see, I don't want to make it somebody else's problem, and I can't spay all of and neuter all these cats. They just, I need them to have a home where somebody could love them, but everybody's in the same boat. Who's going to afford these prices? You know, yeah. So I said I wasn't going to get on my soapbox, and here I am jumping up and down on the soapbox again. Yeah. Oh, it's hard. We lost Bernadette this month. That's another thing that's had me kind of bummed because I look out in the yard and I don't see her out there now, and it's just rough. All right. I know, Heather. Thank you, sister. Um, um, we want to take care of the animals around us, but financially, it's just becoming something I can't do. So anyhow, I'm gonna let you guys go. Happy Inktober. And I was going to get on here this morning and I was going to have my witch hat on and I was going to do a face to face with my awesome witch hat that I made years ago. But I'm not feeling it. Y'all don't need to see how I look right now. So thanks, Kathleen. I'm going to let you guys go and take care. Try to stay warm. We are trying to make it till November 1st with no heat on. And so far, so good. And there's my sweet friend Ruth with her little pink hand. So I will see some of you in Craft and Chat later. I hope to be in a better mood for that. I didn't want to bring y'all down yesterday. So, all right, take care, guys. Bye.